Hello everyone, Alex here, and today we're gonna talk about tier list September 2025, who the best characters are, who aren't so great. As always, I don't have elites and rares because rares stop at level 160 and elite stops at level 220 is the maximum they can go. Plus they cannot have emblems, so you also lose that. I apologize if I sound a bit weird. I have a small wound in my tongue. This is temporary, just might make my some words not perfectly intelligible. Let's start with the new characters. Now I have already 2 tier lists for previous months that largely hold up. So let's start with the changes and we move to the other characters that aren't that great afterwards. So Superman DCU is an awesome character that can potentially get some arena play now because he can, with the buff that he got and he does a lot of damage now, he can kill tanks very efficiently. So he can kill like a Nightwing or a Blue Beetle and counter a block team to a high degree. Part of that is Superboy that I have on the list a little bit higher than before, and we're going to talk about that. Also, he's awesome. He's a great tank. He's a great tank bursting DPS. Not so much character that does a lot of damage to everyone. He's just a character that will use an ultimate every now and again and might be super effective on killing someone like Nightwing, which is a very beefy character. So Superman DCU is high. Let's start with STR and we're gonna move down. So Wonder Woman is awesome, the best character in the game. She's countered a little bit, but she's still used everywhere. If you are in the early game where you have to select the banner, select Wonder Woman. She's awesome. She kind of starts falling a little bit out of arena or elite arena. She's still awesome in main stages and everywhere, so I wouldn't have her go down on the list yet. Sinestro is an awesome character. He kind of needs to be big to be like an S tier that carries everyone. If you just have him at rank 7 or 8, he's very nice to have and will help you push the main stages, especially if you have many chapters, many, like you need 2 or 3 teams. He can carry a team by his synergy and his damage and everything. He helps you in the 3rd League Challenge do a bigger score. In an Evil Falls, he's super nice to have. Nightwing, as I talked, is a great tank, the best straight tank in the game. He's very beefy, can take a lot of damage. If you have him with Ocean Master heals him and can give him like block chance and block amount, so he gets very little damage and gets healed when he gets attacked. Also, his passive, when people hit him and he blocks, so you definitely want a lot of block gear into him, and his emblem at level 25 as soon as possible. Probably the 2nd character after Zatanna 30 that you really want to rush an emblems. Then he gets a lot of less damage and he deals damage back when he's hit. So it's awesome to watch this. He can plug into any team just to get to your back row character a lot slower. Superman DCU I talked about, he can fit in many teams. That's why he's here. He can fit into debuff and make them stronger. As a great tank there. He can try to make a burn team that you just need 1 character with Superboy to activate the team synergy. And I would like to have more characters with them. I don't think they work perfectly. And the more limited testing that I have done in a burn team, I also have to account where test things. But a team like this can counter block teams, so it's also awesome there. You can fit with Mr. Terrific and have terrific team synergy. So he has a lot of place in the game. Even just plug and play, just use him in a team with Wonder Woman as a tank because of the one turn that he gets as invulnerable, helps absorb a lot of damage and keep your back row alive. Then we have Deathstroke. Deathstroke, because now it's also for a few days left his banner where you can pull him, or Peacemaker, which Peacemaker has a little bit of a tentative place in the list because we don't have his team yet, and maybe we haven't tested him super extensively. But it's safe to say that, and I have a video on him. Deathstroke needs to be at rank 10 to have his placement at S tier. At rank 8 he's just a B tier character or whatever. At rank 7 he's almost useless, he's like a D, E tier. He's bad. So just unlocking Deathstroke, I would highly recommend against it. He's more for wells that are gonna go all the way to bring him to rank 10, or at least you bring him to rank 8 so he's usable and you plan to bring him to rank 10 eventually. If you're not planning to bring him to rank 10 in the next year, ignore him, because at rank 7 he will be pretty much useless. At rank 10 though, he is an awesome damage dealer that doesn't need other characters around him too much to get going. So he does a lot of single target damage that can chip away on a character and puts out a lot of debuffs, so he can work amazingly with Sinestro. He hits also adjacent, puts out a lot of bleeds, so shields aren't working. Definitely a very nice character to have, can help you in challenge too. Maybe a little bit better there in debuff, because he puts out debuff for other characters to do stuff in their kits. Definitely a great character, but he needs to be big to be like this. Otherwise he's a lot lower on the list, and I doubt many people will have him at rank 10. If he's not rank 10, he's worse. Terrific. Terrific is an awesome support that I haven't fully explored his full potential because I just have him at rank 8. Would love to have Terrific at rank 10, where he helps his team more a bit with survivability. He's great at removing debuffs that can counter a debuff team to some degree, that can even counter a block team. That's a bit more interesting to me, because there is a lot of weekends that Awesome Master, that's right next to him almost at the list, puts out, and you kinda bet with his team that he stacks a lot of weaken on the opponents and then turn them into bleeds. So having Terrific stops that and throws all the weaken back. So now the opponents will do less damage, might even throw many bleeds back in some situations, and less damage taken for your team. It kinda neuters part of the damage for block to some degree. I don't particularly like him this season, at least at rank 8 of Elite Arena. If you have him in the front row, he very easily dies by a Sinestro ultimate. That's very common to have a Sinestro do a ultimate quickly in Elite Arena. Try him in the back row with debuff, where he can fit in and make them a little bit stronger in some situations. And I've also used him in main stages a little bit with them. I like his synergy on theory. I don't have every superpower damage dealer that you can throw in there with a big investment into. For example, Superboy I have very small in my main account. I don't have Hal. Could be the case that you can make them stronger with that. I've also this season beaten them consistently with a Wonder Woman crit team against like a rank 10 Superman DCU and Mr. Terrific. So to some degree it was like a sign of the moment, because they had 100% more stats the previous Elite Arena season. He's not being on par with the stars, his rank with some other characters. He's not really getting a lot of play for me in Elite Arena currently. I have beaten some bigger terrifics with teams that the previous season would be impossible. So, and I also don't necessarily like need him, or he's a staple in my main stages. I'm definitely excited to test him out at rank 10. I'm close to bringing him to rank 9 already. Might be better there. I know many people might have him even smaller than me and not so usable, but other people might have him one of their biggest characters because they were around in the game when he was released. They pull him a lot and he's bigger than other characters, and they might think he's S tier. Definitely a very nice character. I kinda want to test him out also in Arena, because he kinda counters block to some degree by the cleanse and everything. Definitely a nice character that is interesting, and I like his team synergy, but I don't find them winning too much this season of Elite Arena. At rank 8, I don't find him extremely mandatory to have. So, and rank 8, rank A, he's like the 6th character on the list. If people are gonna be mad at me at not having him at S tier, so be it. Okay, maybe I'll change my mind when he's at rank 10. John Constantine is an awesome character that I really love. He puts out a lot of damage, he can work with block very nice because he gives them buffs, and can help a little bit with the sustain in some situations, especially healing Pandora up and activating her passive. That gains more heal and shield crit. He helps Nightwing that way with buffs that to land stuns more consistently. He does put out a lot of damage. He can work with a terrific team with no tank in them. Definitely great character that because I have him at rank 10 and a Sinestro at rank 9, usually I use him with Wonder Woman and Zatanna if I want to do like a big quick damage, like something like team ups or system recovery when you need to beat in less. I'm very progressive in system recovery, like 12 in the first server or whatever, or there are many wells into it, and it was combined with the 9th. Definitely love Constantine. I even have prioritized pulling him to bring him to 1 silver, but he doesn't get play like in the main arena because he sacrifices 15% of your HP, so a Wonder Woman can go into there and kill you quicker. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword doing that, like sacrificing HP and then healing them back up to some degree and giving them strong attack. Of a few characters that does it now that Zatanna doesn't do it anymore. So he acts a little bit as a support, you could say. It's a great in my block team where he's a main damage dealer and they are winning very consistently in Elite Arena, and he's super nice in main stages. So definitely would love, and he's also available because you get him by 2 calendars, so it's not too hard to upgrade him. Many people will have him. Plus, he and Sinestro are awesome in the 3rd league challenge, the final boss, because you need their superpower damage. Wonder Woman is useless there, and he and Wonder Woman in the 1st, because you need to do a lot of area of effect damage, and Constantine also does that with his passive, and he clears buff, where they gain a lot of buffs there, that might help you even if you don't kill them. Might help you a little bit clear their buffs by 2 of his skills, his ultimate and his passive, as you have his emblem upgraded. Awesome character. He's my 2nd biggest damage dealer because I have Sinestro rank 9. He might be more valuable now in the last league challenge, but he's a little bit of a slower character that needs a team around him with many debuffs to function properly. John Constantine is a little bit more of plug and play. I have Superman DCU at rank 8, I have Deathstroke at rank 8, at this size, being at rank 10 Constantine. He's my second best character, I have a lot of investment into his gear, and I think he's awesome. Also, Master is the best team synergy in my opinion in the game. He puts out ton of weekend, that is a little bit countered now by Terrific, but still I use him in my main arena, in Elite arena, and first team in main stages. I also can use him in, for example, now the Peacemaker boss, who refined Peacemaker to get a higher score and more fragments of his. He puts out a ton of weekend and can turn them into bleeds because Peacemaker keeps hitting. Nightwing was doing that also in the previous balls with Superman DCU. I even use him in team-ups to some degree because he doesn't die as quickly against like Frankenstein. That's very annoying because he heals when someone in your team dies. Love his team synergy where he gives more attack stat and healing if he's at rank 10 on your team is very impactful. Use him in arena. He's an awesome character. He's even like mandatory in one of the 3 weeks in the last league challenge. Where you need to have a block team. This week is that. He also helps with the damage if you have if you have his ultimate going off like 3rd or 4th in the match, because then there will be many weaken on the opponents if there's no cleanse, and he can turn them into bleeds for 3 turns. That's awesome. He gives them your team block chance and block amount that can help them stay alive and activate his passive, or he heals everyone. So there are many situations where even in Elite Arena, when the opponents actually do negative damage because they hit you, you block, you take very little damage, and you heal your whole team by it. Helps with the insane, helps with the damage. Awesome character. He needs a team around him to function, but his team are great already. Like Nightwing is awesome even as plug and play, even without. Also Master. Kinda need Blue Beetle to have them really work in main arena and win more consistently in Elite arena against the crit teams. Even without that, he's nice and can get some play. Definitely a character I underestimated early game because his kit seems kinda boring, but if you really play with characters that block a lot, that you need to have some investment to their gear and their badges and whatever, and on their rank together with like Ocean Master's rank, then he really like becomes a beast and one of the best characters in the game in my opinion. Zatanna is great. She might even get to outlast Wonder Woman in arena, which is very interesting to me because she goes fast. She gives action bar to your whole team, so you can go first and use a ultimate first on many basic or advanced attacks. So this is super valuable, and even if Wonder Woman is not there, can still be strong for everywhere. But especially something like arena where you need to it's more of a fast match rather than main stages which are more about sustain. She helps with the sustain by giving lifesteal to your team. She gives frantic that can help your team crit so they can put out more damage. She definitely works nice with Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman already has some frantic in her kit that will elevate the team's lifesteal. She will crit a lot and heal, and she also cleanses buffs from the opponents, which is very nice, both with her basic and her ultimate. She can help a little bit with the damage in some situations in main stages where you just have Wonder Woman do be the only DPS where you kinda need a little bit of help with the damage. Zatanna can be there and contribute a little bit. Yeah, Zatanna can get play everywhere because she helps with the sustain and with the damage. She's more to elevate other characters, and she's super annoying to deal with. For example, in main stages, if you go against Zatanna, it can be super annoying now that she heals every time a buff is dispelled. And just to mention it again, you need to rush her emblem at rank 30. That's where she gives action bar to everyone and makes your team go first. She can even go before a flash, and you give the Philosopher's Stone, I think it's called, artifact on her that gives her 5 or 10% speed stat. You have 4 speed given to her, so she has a lot of speed. She goes first, gives action bar to her teammates, she gives them frantic, and you go first and try to kill the opponents or stun them with Wonder Woman, control them, and yeah, very, very nice character to have. Very strong. Moving on to Pandora. Pandora is probably the best killer into the game, but she kinda needs to be at badge 30 to be fully awesome, because at badge 30, she's the next character that I'm gonna bring there. I don't have her there, I just have her at 20. Just finished with the previous upgrades, and now she's my main focus there, unless something changes with the new characters that come out. Pandora heals everyone. So her ultimate hits like 6 or 8 times depending on where you have her badge. At 20 her badge make it hit 2 more times. So he heals more and does more damage. And every time she hits, she heals the character that's at lower HP percentage. So she heals like Nightwing 2-3 times, then she may heal Blue Beetle once, then Constantine, then Ocean Master, then again Blue Beetle, because she heals everyone on her team besides herself. Her ultimate, if you have her bat at rank 20, or rank 30, sorry, will function like Constantine does, where he sacrifices his HP, but he also has life steal, so he ends up healing more. Pandora not at rank 30, she just sacrifices her HP and might even hit into a Nightwing and lose more HP, or get counterattacked or whatever in some matches by like even Superboy, besides like Blue Beetle and Awesome Master. And it's a bit annoying because she can kinda die quickly, because she's a bit squishy. When she uses her ultimate a couple of times, she sacrifices I think 20% of her HP every time. You kinda need to rely on her shielding herself in some situations. I even use her at challenge 2 as a main healer, and if you get lucky and she shields herself a lot, you can have her heal the whole team. I have her ultimate like 4th, and it really helps. But there are some situations, for example, main stages, or even Elite Arena, but let's say main stages, that the opponents are doing a lot of damage quickly in the back row, and Pandora will die quickly. So in those situations, it would be better to have a Kid Flash in there that can also heal himself. But the problem with Kid Flash is he heals one person by a lot. And he also got a small nerf, like 2 months ago, where his advanced attack is a bit weaker. Where Pandora heals everyone. So if you have a lot of area of effect damage on your team, everyone but herself, I should say. If you have a lot of area of effect damage on your team, Kid Flash will do a massive heal on one person, even if they are like 60% HP. That's it, that's a healing. Maybe he can heal someone from 20% to 100, where Pandora, she could still heal the character in this situation, but then she loses her HP and she doesn't heal many other characters besides that. But Pandora with her ultimate does damage. On top of that, she heals, she spreads her healing apart, so if you have like many characters at 60% HP, she can heal them all, while Kid Flash is kinda wasted using his ultimate in a situation like this. She puts out shields that help with the survivability. She helps with the damage, as I said. Even with her basic a little bit, it counts. And she puts out a little bit less buffs for like a block team. She only puts one buff, while Kid Flash puts more. But if you have them at the similar size, I would say most situations Pandora is better in there, because she also gets a little bit of healing from Ocean Master and Constantine recuperate, so then she can stay alive because she sacrifices her HP, and her passive, if she loses 100% of her HP and she's still alive, so by healing, by other means, then she gets 50% more crit, shield and heal crit, which will make her do more healing and help with the same. So having like Constantine and Ocean Master help her with the same, plus herself with her shields. Then you can activate that. Probably the best skill in the game, but it's a high investment. If you have her like at rank 6 or 7, you might not notice that as much. And she will probably become a beast with her battle at rank 20. Rank 30, sorry. Rank 20 helps. Blue Beetle, one of the best tanks into the game. He might not be extremely available since he's legendary, but we had a fusion. Even at rank 7, he will fit into a block team and can help you in main stages, maybe not on the first team, because they will do a lot of damage in situations and he might not stay alive. He might get at rank 7 at early games from playing Arena. He kinda needs to be at rank 8 to do that. Yeah, he helps you win in Elite Arena, in a normal arena, in main stages. Bringing him from rank 7 to 8 really helped me push all this content, because it kinda was a weakness. Having him at rank 7, he would kinda die relatively quickly in some situations. It was kind of a weakness of my block team before I brought him to rank 8. He stops crit, so he can make a crit team not work against them in Elite Arena, and he's kinda beefy besides that, and he does a lot of blocks, so he's the second best blocker besides Nightwing, so he can help activate Ocean Master or the stuff he does. He also puts out a few weekend of his own that can help Ocean Master put out more Blitz. Not like the best character where you can throw into any team and make them stronger. I've seen some people try that, having him with other characters to not block, to stop a Wonder Woman team going into them and winning, like for example with debuff, because he also puts a little bit of debuffs, or with burn, so he can stop like a Wonder Woman and the rest of the burn team are stopping a block. Haven't tested that extensively, but he might get a little bit of play besides like the straight block team, and he's okay. He's not he doesn't die very easy if you have him at least rank 8. Batman is very nice, especially he's awesome on the second league challenge, particularly in single target, in the single target bracket where I'm doing that, and you also need his sim synergy there. He puts a lot of damage there. He can fit into a debuff team, but Deathstroke is kinda better for that if you have him at rank 8. which also he has taken Batman's place, and Batman doesn't really get a lot of play, neither in main stages nor in Elite Arena. He has also like a Evil Falls when you need him. He's definitely decent with debuff. Might be a lot stronger if you have his emblem at rank 30. I have it as 25 and he's nice, but as I said, I don't use him in a lot of content. I just use him in the Second League Challenge and in the one that's Green Lantern, the Evil Falls. I don't remember his name. Like the evil Green Lantern. Yeah. Then we have Raven. Raven you need for the third League Challenge because he revives people. He works very nice there. Because Steppenwolf kills every few turns the highest damage, or the one that did more damage to him. And Raven keeps reviving them and can give them even like 20% attack and defense if you have her emblem at level 20. And she's kinda of a staple mandatory for if you try to do a debuff team. She's very strong there. If you don't have Sinestro, she got little play for me in the main stages. There are some situations, for example, like a Sapphire where she always does a lot of single target damage to one of your tanks and kills them, and then she doesn't do much for a few turns, so Raven counters that in main stages. If you are in a place where you don't have Sinestro but you have Raven for the third challenge. Yeah, she can't use in an Evil Falls. She's a decent plug and play. If you have her big, she can help with the revives. I've seen some people in the past that use her in Arena because of that. It's gonna be used in Elite Arena. She's nice. It's a bit situational where her revives will really help a lot. So she works because she puts out a lot of debuffs and extends them with her ultimate. So she puts out a lot of debuffs with her basic and then extends everyone's debuffs that they have put out by one turn with her ultimate. If you have her at rank 10, which can be very strong, especially like if you have 15 stacks of bleed by Deathstroke. And she also puts out fear by her own, doing an ultimate. Then she's great because she amplifies Sinestro, so she can make him stronger. A team like this kinda relies on her for the support and the sustain because they might kill someone quickly and then she's beefy, has a lot of HP and keeps reviving people. It's super annoying if you like go against him in Elite Arena and you kill one of their tanks quickly and then even revives them, for example Grodd with full HP. Also you can revive someone like Sinestro that can really keep going then. Great card, a little bit situational. She also can help with the damage if you have a high investment to her, but I prefer to have HP on her because you need her to stay alive and healthy to revive people with more HP because she revives them with based on how much HP she has. Then you have Lantern Hal that has become stronger with the addition of Terrific into the game because there's one more place for him to shine. I see some people starting to use Hal with a debuff, and that's nice. Not debuff, sorry, with block. He is part of a requirement of the second league challenge, but he's not like amazing there because you need physical damage against the sun, not superpower damage, but he can put some shields out situations he can help. Definitely a very big damage dealer that if I wanna go up against him in Elite Arena, he can really carry a team and give some wins, even in situations where you wouldn't expect that because he's a big damage dealer. The problem with him is he's not like super easily accessible. I bet they will make him as a banner within the next couple of months because they started doing all the porno legendaries. And if you aren't a big spender, it's a bit annoying ranking up the legendaries. Takes a lot of time. So having one more legendary to upgrade can be bad because you will take more time to bring to a rank 10 someone like Sinestro, for example. Don't know how great he would be like in rank 7 or even 8. At rank 10 he's awesome and strong and can work with the Justice Gang, as I said. Then we have Superman Original. Superman is very, he's flexible because he can fit into a debuff team, he can fit into a burn team, he can go with a Wonder Woman team just to be a character that stays with invulnerable for a couple of turns and takes longer to kill. He can also activate like Green Arrow's area of effect team synergy. He, as Burn, he can be part of the first league challenge, one of the 3 requirements, and can help your team there, and his area of effect also. I don't have him. You need to spend like 800 euros to unlock him, probably the same in dollars, I'm imagining. Kinda want to have him because Burn kinda started countering block in the very high end, so I don't think I will do too much just having Superboy and Superman DCU. You kinda need a third Burn character in there to add more burns, and definitely Krito would help with that. I have only my second account, wasn't like in my first. So Superman OG would probably be the third best burn character. I know people that are doing the burn challenge are using him there, and I'm like in the third best league, so it's the best leagues that are using him there. Original, no, Superman DCU does a lot more damage, definitely, and Hasbro sustained, at least in a sense that he heals himself every turn, because I think you need to have maxed out Superman's OG badge for him to spend invulnerable with 2 turns. That can make him a lot stronger then. Always nice to have like a character that says 1 turn with invulnerable and delays the opponents going for your back row. He puts out many debuffs that can help with a debuff team, knocks back their action bar with his advanced attack. The opponents, as I said, his ultimate does burn, so can help have more detonations in a team like this. So when I'm thinking about building a burn team, I know I need Superboy and Superman DCU. Original Superman seems like a very nice candidate in there because he will spend a turn with invulnerable, so he can he has some sustain that way. And I see him fitting very well in like the first league challenge, so he has one more use there. At B tier, we now have Kid Flash and Lex there. Kinda don't use them that much recently. Kid Flash is an awesome early game healer that doesn't need a big investment, in contrast with Pandora. I still use him in some situations, even my first main Sages team, where the opponents are doing a lot of damage on your back row and you can't afford having the Pandora self-sacrifice and not her healing herself. You kinda need to heal Kid Flash healing himself. So it could be like a team, like a 3 block characters, Wonder Woman and Kid Flash, that is strong in main stages if you are going up against a very strong team. The problem is like he does 0 damage. There are situations where him healing one character at a time is slow and not the best type of healing. Yeah, Pandora outshined him in the late game. So he's out of my elite arena for a while. He's not used always in my main stages. An awesome character for early game if you need more healing, but he falls off late game. He's not super mandatory to have. And game changing for your roster consistently. Lex kinda the same. He's very easy to activate his team synergy early game. When you unlock him, you can rank him up to rank 7 very quickly, and he can be one of your best tanks. Then, if you don't have other characters, many other tanks at a high investment into. But Lex, with his nerf that his ultimate costs 1 more every turn, this has taken his toll on him. It kinda makes him a little bit more unusable. I don't use him in Elite Arena for a while. I don't rely on him to do something super important in other game modes like main stages or SM recovery. I kinda use him there, but I don't rely on his ultimate ton for the sustain. I kinda use a Kid Flash. I have to in a team because you cannot use his ultimate very often. It becomes super expensive, and it becomes a detriment of using 2 other ultimates when it has like 5 cost, which goes relatively fast there. Still nice to have, still strong, still can be a boost early game, but you cannot rely on his shield to keep your team alive for main stages that is very long. You can use his shield like maybe once or twice in the first turns, and then you kinda need to kill a couple of members of the opponents that are doing a lot of damage, and then just sustain yourself with Kid Flash. You can kinda do that. So you can have a lot of sustain against like a big damage dealing team that you can kill a couple of squishy members quickly. You can kinda do that and have him help with his ultimate a couple of times, or against someone like a Phantom Stranger where he sacrifices HP and Lex Sim Synergy does put out a shield then. Can even be like a team with him and Pandora, and then you can take advantage more of his Sim Synergy. Or Dr. Fate with him. He's definitely nice to have. One of the best tanks. There are not many other tanks that are above him. He kinda doesn't fit debuff because he puts out 0 debuffs. I replaced him with Peacemaker in like a Elite Arena because Peacemaker helps the back row with survivability, putting every 1 turn a stack of shelter onto them. So he doesn't need to use an ultimate to protect his back row. Well, Lex Shield will cost more and more. He's nice in a team with Wonder Woman, definitely, because he can help a little bit with the sustain. He called for many assists, so you take advantage of Wonder Woman's high damage, and by the frantic and stuff that she has, she can drain by doing those assists, so that can help with survivability that way. Not a bad character, but super annoying that his ultimate costs more and more, and definitely limited his uses. Also, he's not like super beefy for like he cannot stay as a main tank. He's very easily he dies very quickly. He has like something line in his passive where he gains 45%, I think, damage reduction after, maybe it's less, after your team does a lot of basics. So you kind of need to have him as a second tank, so he gains a little bit more damage reduction later on in the match. Like, my Bride is at rank 8, he's at rank 10. Bride is probably has like twice the survivability of him as the main tank. Like, being somewhere where even someone like Batman can hit you, Lex would be dead. Bride might have like 40% HP left after an ultimate of Batman and can heal by a Kid Flash, or even survive a little bit by Lex's shields. He's nice, he puts shield on himself. Might get some hate putting him at B tier, but he's I don't know, if you don't use him in Elite Arena and you don't rely on him to do something important in main stages, and he kinda move down like in the second or third team, he doesn't fit in many places. Like, cannot put him with debuff, cannot put him in a team like Justice Gang because you need 0 tanks there. Cannot put him out with Burn. Maybe you can, he will call for assists and he needs to call Superboy for assists, I guess, to put out more burns. Otherwise he's not putting burn by himself. Cannot put him in a block because you have 2 other block characters, and even if you don't have Blue Beetle, Vixen gets block in her kit. Or you can try throwing a Bane in there, and many people are doing better with that. Then you have Gorilla Grodd. Grodd is a great tank that fits very well with the debuff team. He has a section debuff where he puts superpower damage as a second lead challenge. Superpower damage is not great, but he can reduce action bar a lot for this shard, and people that are doing it are saying he's very helpful there. He's also kinda mandatory because there are not many people with a debuff tag, and he's definitely like the main tank that you can use in a normal debuff team with Sinestro, so he can get play in Elite Arena in main stages. Not bad to throw him in a different team. Some people try to do a hybrid with a block and debuff, especially if they don't have a Blue Beetle unlocked. And this is decent. I've used this in a System Recovery where you don't need the mighty characters, and it has worked very nice for me. I like his action bar. He reduces action bar for the opponents by a lot, and puts out like weaken and slow on them that make the opponent go slow and put out less damage to you. And also he counters the debuff, and then Sinestro can use his ultimates faster. Red Hood, nice in this season of Elite Arena because he has more stats, but he kinda starts falling off because the meta where you kill the opponents very quickly with Wonder Woman is kinda gone to some degree. Very nice. I use him in the second league challenge, single target, and he's a physical damage dealer, helps with that. He's my 3rd biggest damage dealer, but 2nd turn of ultimate, because Wonder Woman does a lot of damage with her advanced attack and not so much with her ultimate. Plus he's a single target damage dealer, so he gains advantage of Batman's team synergy there. I also use him in System Recovery when you need to clear the opponents very fast, or many times in team-ups. So he's still nice, he's still usable. Might get some play with Judo Master Team Synergy, where you need anti-heroes to activate that. And he's super nice at rank 8, where he revives and does a free ultimate. Can help you a lot. At the same time, like with his synergy, crit is countered by block. Like when you use an ultimate from Red Hood against a Nightwing, usually heals them more than does damage and you wasted an ultimate and you have taken a lot of damage because you get counterattacked and by the passive of Nightwing. So kinda considering after like this season or maybe even the next where they might do something with physical damage, if Jojo Massa doesn't revive him, to kinda bench him a lot more. We'll see. He's definitely a nice character that early game, maybe if the opponents don't have Blue Beetle, you can even use him in the main arena to make Wonder Woman do more crit damage early on and kill everyone quickly. Then you have Bizarro. Bizarro can fit with a burn team, can potentially fit with a frostbite if they release that. Can fit with a debuff team, and people that have investment into him say he's strong there. Can substitute his original Superman in the League Challenge potentially. So people that have Bizarro definitely are saying good things. I'm interested into him a little bit more now that Burn is becoming more of a thing. He's the only epic that I haven't pulled, so we'll see. Then we have he still moved up a place because I see Burn becoming more of a thing, and he definitely is a character that has the Burn requirement. I also tested him a little bit in my second account where I have him. Then you have Cyborg. Cyborg can help a block versus block Elite Arena team or even main stages, main arena, win the mirror match. He puts out silence to the highest attack opponent with his advanced attack, and you can time it in a way, and their ultimate where he puts out silence for 2 turns, the Nightwing targets the highest attack and stuns them, and then Cyborg silences them again, and you can neuter someone like Constantine or Wonder Woman, and they never get to use their ultimates. That's the main place I see him in. Would be nice to have for that. At the same time, there's so many legendaries that we need to upgrade before him. I don't see myself even pulling him, which he's less available, so even pulling him to bring him more than rank 8, and I don't know if he will get play in main stages being that small. I don't see him getting like fitting into a debuff team or something like this. So maybe a lot more situational character to have. Superboy definitely moved up in the list. He gets more play now with being a superpower damage dealer with Justice Gang and the terrific Sim Synergy. His Sim Synergy is very interesting to me at rank 10 because it reduces the block chance by 12% for its detonation. So you can have a burn team detonating a lot against an opponent's block, and then having like a Superman DCU really killing them with his ultimate killing a tank and going from there. He puts out decent damage by himself. You can use him in the main in the first league challenge with burn if you have this section, and he hits a lot of people, so he can help with that. Also, you need his Sim Synergy for that to get more shots. Definitely an interesting character to upgrade higher to see how much play he can get, like something in later in our main stages with either even with debuff or with his own team synergy and try to do a burn team to a big degree, or with a terrific team synergy. I've seen people even use him in main arena or using him a lot in elite arena. As I said, I don't have neither OG Superman nor Bizarro nor Crypto in my main account, so just having Superboy and Superman DCU might not be the super most effective thing that you can do. You can still do a Justice Gang team and have Superboy being a superpower damage dealer there. Definitely had to mention him and move him up, think that the highest players are using him more, and you see him a lot more in Elite Arena going up against him. I'm definitely intrigued by his teams in the rank 10, where said it reduces block for the opponent, so you have a few burn characters in there, and then you can potentially beat a block team. That's the strongest team and the team I'm running in main arena. And sometimes people attack and win against me using some burn characters in there. So definitely something that I want to build as a luxury build when I have some free resources to do so. I'm slowly buying his fragments so I can upgrade him. Then you have Peacemaker. We'll see where he goes eventually, because maybe his team will make him a lot stronger. He definitely lacks a little bit with the damage unless you have his bad at rank 30, where then it ramps up by Eagle's damage. He can help your team, like putting out a little bit more damage passively, like he puts out some armor break, Eagle puts out some fragile. I guess they will synergize more with some of like Vigilante and Judo Master when they come out. So maybe he will go higher on the list. I know Superman DCU having a way of working better with Terrific. And that's sort of partially like a reason that you can have other characters like Superboy higher, because even if you don't make a burn team, you can slot him in there. You have Terrific cleansing the weekend, so you can beat a block team easier and have some survivability, so you can have more detonations and lower their block chance more and more. So we are waiting for new characters, the new characters to come out and see if he goes higher. He has a place now in the game. He can slot into Wonder Woman team and be a nice secondary tank that puts out a shelter in the back row and protect them, for example, against a mirror match, or help your team put out a little bit more damage offensively by the fragiles and the armor break that he puts out. He heals your teammates when you kill someone, so it can really work in a team like this, where you can kill someone very quickly and then he heals them up and he helps with the sustain that way. So he can be better than Lex in the sense that he does all of that passively, like the shelter and the healing, while Lex needs to use an ultimate that becomes more and more expensive. His ultimate hits everyone. Can potentially help with the damage if you have him very big, but he's not a big damage dealer at the moment. You can try to use him like in league challenges, especially Area of Effect, where he also fits that requirement and he can heal people. Some people use him at challenge 2. And he's kind of a plug and play character that can counter Wonder Woman or a Crit team to a big degree. So maybe he can get more play like that. Then you have Two-Face. Two-Face can fit a few teams, like he can fit into debuff to some degree. He can go with Wonder Woman, help with the survivability, giving them lifesteal, and also giving damage amplification, so Wonder Woman kills, for example, main sages, like a minion in the back row that is doing a lot of damage that will kill you after like 2 or 3 ultimates. Wonder Woman does 18% more damage, or 16, 14, depending on the size that you have to face on his rank, and that extra damage might help her kill someone one turn quicker and avoid him doing an ultimate on you. He's kinda like moved down a little bit for me, because I see that being used less and less, especially now with Peacemaker also countering like a Wonder Woman and a team that will go very fast and kill everyone. So I see that a little bit less in Elite Arena, but at the moment I have put him with my debuff team there. He puts out some debuffs, he will help the survivability. I'm hoping having a life steal that this team doesn't really have a lot of survivability. And I use him in the main stages many times with Wonder Woman, as I said, and Zatanna. Then you have Guy. I see some people in the very high end that are using Guy more, for example, like in Elite Arena or even in arenas sometimes rarely. I'm kind of curious because his emblem at rank 30 makes his basic have a 70% chance to keep going. So every time he does it does like a check, 70%, keep going. So it can go up to 30 times or whatever if you're very lucky and you have all this, the 70% chance activating. I know it's not super realistic to prioritize Guy to rank 30 his buds. And if you don't have him at rank 30, he's kinda meh in every main stages or Elite Arena. He's not bad. I know the previous season where there was superpower damage, I was using him, and even though I quickly realized he's not that great and cannot get like resets from his advanced attack or his ultimate killing someone, then he does, if they kill someone, he does one more advanced attack for free. And if his ultimate kills someone, he also gets one ability energy back. Doesn't really do that in main stages or Elite Arena, but he was contributing in the damage, maybe doing a lot of basics, kind of at the top, even though he wasn't doing much ultimates or advanced attacks. I could see that, like I think some people using him in the high end, that I'm probably like around top 20 usually in Elite Arena, sometimes higher, sometimes lower, or in main stages progress. So not many people are higher than that. When I say high end, the super high end. I'm curious about that. Maybe he's a little bit better. At my testing, what I can see and alignment is that he's not really good in Elite Arena and in main stages, but he excels at the first league challenge, especially when you have his artifact at rank 3. That needs a little bit of money spent probably to get that quickly. So I'm at the point where I kinda want to have a bigger score there. He is awesome there if you have a high investment to him, especially his artifact at rank 3, where it gives him plus 7% damage amplification. Probably for every steal he does, people really get like double the damage by doing that. And he can get a little bit of play like in Elite Arena and main stages. I can see him being a little bit better, having a higher investment to his emblem. I think low B tier is good enough for him because he's more like a one-trick pony. And if I get to use him in Elite Arena or in main stages, which most likely I won't, he will just be okay, he won't be great. Then we have Ivy that moved up a tier on the list. Sometimes people are using Ivy like in Elite Arena or even in main arena, and she can do a lot of back row damage and potentially kill someone like a block team that block team relies on swapping physical damage. Block amount reduction only works for physical damage, so a big Ivy can potentially try to kill your back row. I also use her with Penguin in the back row league challenge. It is nice. Okay, she can kill 3 people with her ultimate up to a certain point. She's nice. So I have her at rank 9. I use her at rank 8. The superpower season in Elite Arena, she wasn't good, and I replaced her. I see some people using her with a high investment into her. And Penguin, his badge rank 30 is awesome. So if you can have that, or even 20 to some degree, can ramp her up to some degree. Would definitely be awesome if you had one more character that puts out poisons. I know Scarecrow fulfills that purpose early game. I used her early game. She was my second team in main stages and nice in Elite Arena for a while. Or in the villain, where you can use only villains in Convergence Crisis. So I definitely can see like an Ivy, especially with a new poison character added, being revamped. There are so many situations where she can kill someone in the background, the opponents, and they can even like try to break a block team, or she's super powerful, so damage dealer. Maybe she can fit with Justice Gang. I know Lightwing is trying that as his worst team in Elite Arena. Since I'm investing into her for back row, where she has a use for me, I'm curious if I invest into her badge a little bit more and Penguin and rank them up, if she'll actually become very useful in Elite Arena. Apart from that, I don't see her being used a lot in many other places, but she has like a curiosity factor for me, like very big. She can do some very nice stuff, and she's used in the league challenge that I'm doing. So, and I can see her early game with a Scarecrow being a thing. So she moved up a bit on my list. Because if you lose in the main arena, because he one-shot your Wonder Woman with her ultimate, yes, she had a level advantage, yes, she had the parallax maxed out, yes, she had lasso, she barely managed to do that by poison and stuff. Wonder Woman died. If my Zatanna wins a coin flip, maybe the opponent's Ivy will get stunned and she won't get to do that. But still impressive that she was the reason I lost in main arena. Sometimes in Elite Arena she can do the same against me. Moving on, Green Arrow. Green Arrow moved down from B tier. He's very nice early game, but he falls off late game. He's not really great. He's just straight damage, where you have many other characters that do that better and do some other things as well. You can use him definitely if you do the Area of Effect League Challenge. Some people use him in Elite Arena. He's not bad necessarily, but you kind of want Constantine with a block, and I prefer, especially this season where he gets a buff, to have like Two-Face team synergy. Also, it's kind of tricky to activate his team synergy if you don't have like Peacemaker that can make actually a team like Peacemaker, Wonder Woman, and Arrow get a revamp. Maybe this will happen and he gets higher on the list, but probably they will go in a different direction. Otherwise, like, you need original Superman or Flash or Bane. And Bane, you kinda need heal characters, so it's a bit tricky to merge them as a team. So it's not ideal to use team synergy in many situations. Bane is here, rank C. He moved up a little bit, he was low C, because I see many people mentioning him and saying he's very good if you have investment into him. At the same time, he's in the arena store where it's very competitive for fragments. There are 8th metal there that it's probably best to rank up Sinestro at rank 10 than slowly buying Bane's fragments. But if you have an investment to Bane, he becomes a strong character that many people are saying good things about. I see some people in Lantern are rarely having a team more based around him, like a heal team that sometimes are winning against my weakest, like my debuff team. So it's kind of interesting to mention. If I happen to get pull him by mistake like four times or whatever and have some fragments to play around with him, I definitely want to test him out and see what he's all about. Flash kinda doesn't do very nice damage in the late game, especially like against a block team in Elite Arena. He gets demolished by all the counterattacks and the weekends and stuff. Some people might use him like in the first league challenge and they say he's strong if they have an investment to him. Since Zatanna countered him that he can go before him and they make your team go before him, it's kind of a bit less useful because his trick was that he's the fastest card in the game and can knock back the action bar of the opponent, make your team go first. Also, if you select Wonder Woman, you won't have a high availability on, or very likely to pull Flash. I know he's available in the Elite Arena store, but his fragments. But to pull him, it's very rare to happen, anyways. And I don't see many people using him against me in Elite Arena, and the ones that do, very rarely I see a Flash doing like some good plays against me. And you have Bright moved down in the tier list. She might move up. She will get a buff relatively soon. Maybe in a month, I don't know exactly when. Maybe they will add it in 3 days. And this tier list will become a little bit less relevant. But also with the introduction of Peacemaker and with Justice Gang, that you may not need a tank into a team, and those teams potentially taking a spot in one of the 3 teams you need in Elite Arena and or main stages. She's kinda basically all the plays she was getting is okay. She is a beefy character that is not doing too much beside that, but you can have her as a main tank with a crit team. And she's also now, because this season of Elite Arena she has 50% more stats, but it's finishing very very soon. And her ultimate costs more, so much she can help a little bit offensively if you in main stages where you need a little bit more damage. Can even help with the sustain with Zatanna. She also has some crit on her team, and now in Elite Arena when you have her with the Red Hood, it can help moving up the stacks to have more superpower resistance faster. And she can take advantage of it synergizes, like Zatanna will give her 2 frantics. She has some crit of her own that she gets, so she can crit a bit more. But besides that, like she has one place where there are many other candidates, like Lex, like Red Hood even, especially in Elite Arena, as a tank, like Peacemaker, even some other characters like Superman OG or DCU Superman can fit that role, or Penguin. If she gets a buff, maybe she will become stronger. But she has a very small, very niche use. That what she was bringing to the table is like being a tank with a lot of HP. There weren't many great tanks. It's kinda diminishing. There's less need for mediocre tanks that may have more XP. With more characters being added to the game. Dr. Fate is decent. I have had him sometimes as a mercenary. He can help with the damage the team. He can help activate Pandora's team in some situations where you want to build a team around that in the main stages. He can fit like into the shield for the second league challenge. I know some people are using him in the third league challenge when you need Pandora's team synergy active, like one of the 3 weeks, and they were doing nice. he's not a bad character. Many people say, okay, why he's C tier? Doesn't mean he's bad. Just to get to upgrade him, having so many legendaries above him is much more of a luxury. He's also not like super available. Many people will just have him like at rank 7. Yes, he's in league, the league banner, but many people might not have him at all. To pull a duplicate is not extremely often, and even if you have him at rank 8, okay, he will definitely be usable. He might find a place in Elite Arena. I see some people who are using him with Terrific Steam Synergy. Nice. His area of effect, he can activate Arrow Steam Synergy. As I said, Pandora in the main stages. When I had him as a mercenary, it's not like he was the best DPS that could make me win difficult main stages. He was a lot more situational. Moving on to Robin. Robin can help with the back row challenge, can help in some situations, or it's a bit luxury to have him there if it's a spot. Like in main stages where you want Wonder Woman to kill quickly someone in the opponent's back row, you can have Robin giving her the damage for the first 3 turns. You can clear seal their buffs if he's at rank 10, which I'm interesting to see in League Challenge 1. He can fit like some, like being a single target, maybe he can go into the challenge 2 as well. He can go in some situations maybe like where you need bleed on evil falls, or where you need single target damage. He has some niche uses. Might help in the main series, as I said, like Wonder Woman do more damage quickly to the back row, and he also does some decent damage by himself. I see him being like a very flexible character that has many uses. He has more niche. Penguin. There's many tanks that, okay, if you have Penguin's budget level 30, maybe he becomes great. He used to be like more of a staple with debuff, because he puts out his umbrella, he gets hit, he puts out poison on the opponents, and also when he does his basic. And he helps ascend himself by using his ultimate, he heals. But now we have Superman DCU, we have original Superman, even Peacemaker, you can make an argument to throw into there. Besides Grodd being the main tank in there, some people are using Batman in the front row as a tank with them, or Sinestro if you have the crystal on him and maybe some other lifesteal in the team. You can have him in the front row. Bizarro is a better tank than Penguin, so he kinda lost his spot a little bit there. He's not used very often. I'm using him back row. He can help activate Ivy. You can try to make a team with Elite Arena that has those 2 in them. His battle at level 30 is definitely interesting. He makes your team, your back row, besides protecting them, giving them damage reduction. And with his battle level 30, he does that for the whole match. Otherwise, he does that 1 turn every 3 or something. He also makes him do 10% more damage. That can help like a Wonder Woman kill someone in the opponent's back row very quickly in main stages. And I use him sometimes with that. Maybe with a new person character, he will get more play. Martian Manhunter, some people are using him in with block, and he can help you win the mirror match because you have a lot of healing and you outsustain the opponents, especially if you have Pandora like I have, where she damages herself and she also gets counterattacked. Maybe she'll end up dying and you outsustain them. Some people try to do sometimes like a heal team in Elite Arena, and also with Bane, that Martian Manhunter is definitely part of that. He's not like super available. He's not like super awesome that can have many places that he can fit if you have him available. So I don't see him. I see him be more situational. That maybe he can fill a spot in a team in a elite arena, but he's not like a game changer like Superman DCU is that can fit into many teams as a tank. Vixen can feel be like a substitute for block. Can kinda try to make a bleed team if you're into that, and she can help with that. You can having her and Two-Face, you can activate like a mighty team synergy for the Convergence Crisis if you don't have a burn team. Okay. Once you have Blue Beetle, she kinda becomes less important to have. Jessica, she kinda relies on having a lot of shields around her, and Lex is not that great anyways now. Many other DPS that are better than her. And some people are saying like Green Lantern teams are great. No, Hal is great. Guy has some uses. Jessica, not so much. I don't see anyone in late game using her, even in the shield where you need to have 3 shield characters in the second challenge. People aren't using Jessica because they want to have physical damage and would prefer to have like a elite tank at level 220 just to have a extra spot for a physical damage dealer to do more damage there. Bloodsport. Some people I see using him in Elite Arena instead of Blue Beetle. It's kinda interesting, okay, kinda works. He is more of a defensive character. I know trying to do that in my second account, I wasn't happy with his damage. Trying to have him in Elite Arena with my block team without Blue Beetle. But I see people having him as a second tank besides Nightwing. This is a little bit more interesting to me. Like instead of Vixen, him being the second tank that blocks. I see some people doing okay with that. I don't think he would fit into a block team if you have all characters unlocked. And he's not really a big damage dealer to make you win in Elite Arena or in even in main stages. Constantine is a lot better for that, and has many other places where he can get play besides like Bloodsport. Phosphorus is interesting because he might also get a buff. He hits everyone, so you can use him potentially in the League Challenge where you need burn. I don't know how many people will have Phosphorus at a high rank, but if you do, people are trying to do a straight burn team in Elite Arena and are very high spots. Definitely curious to build a burn team and might have to resort to Phosphorus, especially if he gets a decent buff. He now has more stats in Elite Arena, so that's what can make him work this season. He does some damage on your teammates. I don't know how great he will be without getting a buff, but maybe he's a character a little bit to look out for, especially if his buffs are relatively nice. And he counts as an anti-hero, so he can help activate Judo Master's team synergy. He can also work with a burn that you may not have available, especially original Superman. So you can have one more character there that puts out burns and have detonations to counter block team. Mera, maybe he can get a little bit more play now that he's a tanky DPS and you need to not have tanks with your Justice Gang team. I haven't seen that being too much of a thing going against especially the previous season where you were more incentivized to do that in Elite Arena. If I remember correctly, her ultimate does superpower damage and her basic and advanced attack is doing physical. I know she split. She does half her attacks with a superpower damage, so she doesn't take perfect advantage of that, but she takes to some degree. We'll see. Maybe some people. I will see that being more of a thing with Justice Gang, and I also invest into her. I don't have many fragments to upgrade her high at the moment. She also can fit some other tags. She sacrifice and I think single target, so she can get a little bit of play in some situations where you need her, even in league challenges. When she was released, I know what people were saying that investment into her was she's a DPS that tries to be a tank and ends up being neither of the two very successfully. Then we have Starfire. Starfire might get a little bit of play being a burn character. You need in a league challenge some burn characters. But you may just need to burn characters, especially early on, and you can just use Superman DCU and Superboy and be done with it. This season also puts out Armor Break and can benefit a little bit for the Elite Arena, and some people try to do a full burn team, and she can be a part of that. I don't particularly like that her ultimate hits only 2 people in the front row, and many other burn characters hit many people. I know for a while I haven't seen her anywhere, like she wasn't at all going up against her in Elite Arena. I have many fragments of hers, but I pulled her by mistake and I haven't upgraded her. I tried to use her very early game and wasn't like super happy with her performance. I don't know. And we have Sapphire. Sapphire was considered like the worst character in the game by many. She got a small buff like a couple of months ago where they nerfed Lex and Kid Flash and Zatanna and Wonder Woman. Sometimes I see like a heal team with her in it in Elite Arena that she has some stuff in her kit that I have read that they make sense for that, but she's also like, even when I see that, it relies a little bit more on Bane doing a lot of stuff and maybe Kid Flash doing a big heal rather than she's DPS supposedly in there. I just see her putting out a lot of damage and being a reason that I lose if I lose against that by my worst team in Elite Arena. She also fits single target, but the superpower damage is not really usable in the second league challenge. John, I see some people are using in Elite Arena. I never see him doing anything, but he sits there as a human mid shield, and he puts out some debuffs, even revives him. He gets some hits, maybe he contributes, I don't know. His ultimate is very like lame, boring, that he can do a shield, okay, but then after 2 turns he hits back part of the damage he has taken. If he dies in the 2 turns, he will do nothing. There's many other characters that they have that are more flexible, that can use in other places as well, that may be better in a debuff team than him. I have like some fragments for him. I could upgrade him technically speaking. What I found a little bit interesting is he can, if you have a shield league challenge where you need to have 3 shield characters, he has a tag, so instead of using like an elite character for the to have a spot in your team, maybe you can try to use John. Even if you don't have a great investment to him, he will be at a higher level, so maybe he can get a play there end game. Maybe some people have investment into him for that, and throw him in Elite Arena with a debuff team. I know he puts out some debuffs with his basic, okay. Just his ultimate is very lame and almost useless. I know I was using him early game and he wasn't really like not worthy. And we have Weasel. Weasel will get a small buff. Maybe he'll become stronger. He puts on he does some damage to his teammates. Has a team synergy that negates that, but Bright Kid negates that to some degree. Besides that, so you can't waste the team synergy spot on him. Nobody is really using creature commandos. Even some people that tried in the start of this Elite Arena season, I demolished them when I went up against them with many of my teams. So they're not stay strong now, but maybe he will get a buff and become a little bit better. Then you have Supergirl. Supergirl is waiting for Killer Frost to come into the game, and maybe then she will become A tier. At the moment, even people that have her aren't using her. There are so many other legendaries that are higher on the list that why would you invest into her? I know her fragments are available in the League Challenge shop, the League shop. So maybe they will release some Frostbite characters in the not very distant future, and there will be a way for you to pull her in a banner and buy her fragments easier. Maybe she will become better then. I don't know if they are waiting for her movie to come out or if they will make a new Supergirl version for that. It's a little bit in the future, her movie. Killer Frost, I know when she was into the game, the previous version, she was the best character in the game. Much more now that Supergirl amps up frostbite damage, and the Killer Frost was doing a lot of frostbite damage even without her. And they have given the frostbite tag to other characters like Bizarro, Superman OG, Green Arrow. So you can make a team, you just need two other frostbite characters. One of them would be Killer Frost. It's not too hard to make a team out of frostbite characters, especially having two tanks to consider. And Green Arrow that some people might have an investment into. So that's it for now, guys.